3 new mobs, each with different abilities and only one will survive. Sound familiar, guys? The annual Minecraft mod vote is back this year, with some very good options, and in this video we'll talk about all of them and rate them in different categories, in hopes of predicting the winner. I'm joined here by iHas. Make some noise! Your also opinion. Go!
Well, I personally prefer. I think the armadillo will probably win. Let's be real.
Okay.
It's just it's a nice touch, and I don't know. They might choose the armadillo.
Okay. Well, here's what 50 people thought
Oh.
from Discord and Instagram. Interestingly, 19 people voted for the crab, 15 for the armadillo, and 9 people chose not to vote. People would rather not vote than vote for the penguin. Wait, so which mob are you voting for?
I'm definitely voting for the armadillo.
Do I agree with them, and why? Let's find out. Mojang have really thought about it this year, despite popular opinions.
Oh, the penguin's basically just dolphin race, and oh, just don't be lazy and move instead of using a...
Between the crab, the armadillo, and the penguin, it's going to be a close call. So let's dive deeper to find out. Now, this year's vote is especially difficult because each mob appeals to a different type of player. So the builder benefits from the crab's longer reach, the explorer is aided by the penguin's boost ability, and the PvP player gains extra protection for their wolves through the armadillo's scoots. However, each has a flaw. Yes, the armadillo provides armor for your dog, but have you thought about alternatives? Have you thought about feather falling pots or regen pots? Just anything that can boost the dog's HP or their mobility, which you can actually splash over an army of dogs if you wish. They'd probably do better at protecting your pets than some armor, let's be honest. And
Okay,
what?
but like think about it. Armor plus those potions. Like, it's like you can't do anything, right?
Okay, but would you rather have both of those things or just an entirely new ability?
Both.
I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but it's also worth noting that dog AI is dog. It needs some serious reworks. I mean, what good is it if you suit up your wolf only for it to TP into some lava or a cliff? On the other hand though, I can see how focusing on this specific mob would let Mojang try and fix wolf pathfinding, which would be amazing. I mean, whilst Mojang aren't focused on adding armor and a player safe UI to the mechanic, why won't they just adjust some minor flaws to the mob? I can see that happening, and maybe that's a reason to vote for the armadillo. But personally, again, what good would armor do when dog AI needs some serious work? Now, what about the scoot strength? I doubt it will be stronger than iron armor, and is that really enough to sway your vote? Iron armor for a pet, which, let's face it, most of you would leave sitting at home anyway. I know I would. I know I'd protect Bartholomew with my life.
Oh yeah, me too.
That said, I am actually not that opposed to the mob itself, and it's not for the reason you would think. So for each one of these mobs, I will assess them on their aesthetics, on the mechanics that they bring, and also how they'll be implemented. For example, in terms of aesthetics, it's got an interesting curl-up ability. From the little footage we have, I personally find its shell kind of satisfying. I think the mob model is quite appealing. Like, it would certainly look cool in game, and I'd definitely put it in the A tier. I think the biggest advantage to voting for the armadillo, however, has nothing to do with the mob. Instead, it has everything to do with the biome and what that would mean for the game. So if armadillo is brought into the savannah, that means Mojang would definitely need to work on the biome itself. And let's be honest, the savannah isn't the most interesting. Do you remember the rumored ostrich, termites, and baobab trees? I don't even know how to pronounce that, it's so exotic. As well as just the general rework of the savannah biome. Well, introducing the armadillo would be the perfect time for Mojang to do that. It would encourage the developers to revisit those proposed changes, and I'd argue that the savannah has more priority over stony shores, and definitely over what is already the most detailed biome in the game. It may or may not be getting too much love right now. It is for those reasons I think voting for the armadillo is not a bad option. I'd say it's a solid A tier, but hang on. The crab's claw acts as an extension to your arm, which basically aids every single player in the game. Here's why. Let's say you're a regular mumbo jumbo, minding your own business, making some tea, floppy flux capacitor. Oh no, you forgot one component, and you can't reach it. Your redstone's ruined. But wait, there's a crab. You get the idea. The biggest misconception I've seen amongst the community is that the crab claw is allegedly only useful to builders, which is the biggest clump of bullshit I've ever smelt. What if you're the kind of player who likes to explore? I guarantee that having longer reach will speed up the process of traveling in your world significantly. If you like PvP, think of the Carnage, where you can activate crystals and beds in other dimensions, and lava buckets, and MLGs, and cobwebs,
and traps, and TNT, and stasis chambers, and respawn anchors, and beacons.
Okay, yeah, I can't lie. As a builder, this would save me a ton of time. Hours. Though it's important to remember that it's not all sunshine and roses, and that roses have thorns, and the sword is double-edged. Longer reach is a completely new mechanic, which would actually have significant utility in game. Yes, But how much utility are we talking? This mob is both really exciting and just a complete mystery to me. How long is the reach? You can place blocks, but can you break them? Does it have any side effects like slowing the player down? Does it have durability? Can it be enchanted? The answers to each of these questions have the potential to make this item either severely broken, kind of balanced, or just pure bad. I'm hoping that firstly, it doesn't have durability, because that would limit its use case to the point where I think players will rarely use it in fear of breaking the item. I think this is incredibly likely as it seems to be the best way to balance the item, and I don't like it. Secondly, if Mojang does go down this route, I believe we should be able to add mending to the claw. I like the idea of it slowing the player down when it's in their inventory, because it's the lesser of two evils. The second being durability. Lastly, one way Mojang can completely mess this up is by limiting the claw to only being able to place blocks. Because then there's not much of a point unless you're a god player who never makes mistakes. And not everyone is like I has. Why is this a possibility? Because Mojang said nothing to do with breaking blocks in their announcement video. It's worrying. Just like how it's worrying that I'm 34 followers away from being a Twitch affiliate. I stream Minecraft regularly with iHas and it gets crazy sometimes. Yeah, we're going back in!
We should probably sleep. Let's
Oh
be
no.
real.
Oh no, I'm back in spawn.
I told you to set your spawn!
I did on my spawn!
No, you didn't!
What in the chat?
Okay, just sleep, please.
But it's always fun. So I hope I can count on your follow, because I love making content for you guys, and it only gets easier if I get a little bit in return, which I can easily pump right back into the channel. Link in the description. Thanks guys. The Mangrove Swamp, the most detailed and recent biome in the game, and if they win, also the home of the crab. This is, in my eyes, another big problem surrounding the potential mob. I see why Mojang are doing it, to add more life to the biome. And it does fit, but I think crabs should be way more common. Or at least should get their own biome. Not even that, just by introducing them in beaches, the mob already gets way better. Now from a developer standpoint, it makes sense for the crab to be less accessible due to how good the claw can be, but maybe just leave the mangrove swamp alone. It's already home to frogs and tropical fish. These factors would all need tweaking in order to truly put the crab in this category, but the mob is S-tier, not just for its mechanics. Out of the three options, its aesthetics are probably the worst, but that's only because the bar is set so high. The funky, lopsided, larger claw is unlike Minecraft, but I stand by it. You know, it gives me some OP Vecna vibes, which is fitting. Plus, it can crawl sideways up walls, which is fairly original in vanilla. And you know what isn't original in modded Minecraft? Penguins. Probably the most requested mob in the history of Minecraft is finally poking its head, and I fear people will vote for it just because of that perfect ideal we've all pictured before. The reality is that their abilities are simply not on par with the armadillos or the crabs, and I feel Mojang could have been a little more creative. It could be argued that the boost could help certain players, and I've heard people predict a boat travel revolution.
I was just wondering, like, if it would boost the boat, so for example on ice, so you go even faster.
I
In
can
the
see that
nether as
happening.
well.
Yeah, I can
In
see
the
that
nether,
happening.
like, so much speed.
I feel like the main debate surrounds the crab and the armadillo. And poor penguins are just third wheeling in all aspects, except aesthetics. Really, really top notch. S tier in that category, hands down. Not only are they just cute looking in general, with their eyebrows and playful nature, but they were also described as clumsy on land, which is just so incredibly goofy, I love it. It would be crazy good to see them slipping and sliding around on land. But is that enough to vote for? If the answer is yes, good for you. You're entitled to your own opinion. Just make an informed one. Considering how often you'd see a mob as a player is also fairly valid. Given how mangrove swamps are rare enough as it is, I reckon crabs are the least likely to be spotted, and perhaps armadillos and penguins would be the most common out of the three. At the end of the day, the mob vote often brings about 2 weeks of arguing amongst the community, which then dies down. So don't get too caught up in the madness. Vote for what you want. And follow me on Twitch so you don't miss the live reaction video I'll be doing to the mob vote on the 15th. It's gonna be crazy. I'll see you there. Have no mercy, guys. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop the recording and
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing this, bro. Your your transitions are like, I'm sitting in mute. I'm just laughing to myself because transitions are like, they're funny, but they're like so perfect.
the segues.
I don't know how you.
The segues.
How would you, dude? How? It's like actually
It's
perfect.
what happens at 1 AM in the morning. It's what happens. Honestly. Crazy.
Bro.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, how's he doing this so perfectly?
It's not perfect, it really isn't.
No, it's not perfect, but no, it's like, it's so funny.